My name is Jarvis Monroe. I am the store manager of Off-Broadway Shoe Warehouse 5067, located in the Perimeter Wood Shopping Center. Oh, I jacked that up, didn't I?
That's okay. I just want that for my reference, and then I'll put it on the bottom of the screen.
Okay, thank God.
So that's just so I can have everything packaged together.
Where do you want him looking? You want him looking at the camera or looking?
You can look at her.
Okay.
All right, so describe an average day for us.
So average day, coming into work, first thing you want to do is check Task Center to see what type of tasks you have that need to be done and completed in that day. Then you want to go ahead and set up your daily assignment sheet to actually delegate the tasks out to the members of management and also associates that will be working that day to make sure things are done accurately, precisely, in a timely manner.
So on an average day, when do things kind of go sideways?
Whenever on the average day, things go sideways whenever you overlook a particular task or objective that needs to be done during store hours. Also, things can go bad when pretty much you're not properly set up for the day. Oh, I want to do that one again.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that one over. I don't know why I'm so nervous.
Sorry,
Yeah, don't be nervous. You're just talking to me like we were at the table. You weren't nervous over there.
I wasn't. Okay.
We're just sitting at the table talking.
Okay.
You're just telling me about how it is to work in work.
Okay.
And when things go sideways.
Okay.
And why do things go sideways?
Okay. All right. So things go sideways pretty much when you forget about a particular task or objective that needs to be done that day. You remember it, you don't have enough time, so now you're rushing. Now you have to pull somebody away from another particular task that needed to be done. And then you end up becoming behind for the day because you had to pull somebody away from one task to get them to jump on another task that you pretty much forgot or overlooked.
So what role does task manager play in managing your daily work?
Task manager plays a vital role in making sure all tasks are delegated for that day. To make sure things are done, like promo changes, sign changes. It also equips your team with the knowledge of events that are going on, like special promotions that we have going on throughout the week or starting up that particular day.
If you were to rank the current interface, 10 being very user-friendly and 1 being I despise it, where would you rank the current interface?
If I was to give the current interface a ranking, I would give it a 7.5.
And why is that?
I would give the current interface a 7.5 because I feel that it could be a little bit more user-friendly. I feel like the transitioning from pages could be a little bit more clear-cut and precise. That's pretty much it, though.
How would you describe the interface? What are some words that you use for your thoughts of how it looks and how you use it? What are some of the issues?
Some of the issues on the current interface that we're using is that you could have a particular task that doesn't need for you to do any physical labor. Also, it can kind of... I want to do that one over.
Sure.
I want to do that one over.
Sure.
Okay.
So what are some words that you would use to describe the current interface?
Some words that I would use to describe the current interface, I would say not user-friendly. I would say a little cluttered, a little disorganized. That's pretty much it.
And then what are some of the issues with the interface?
Some of the issues with the current interface that we're using, I believe it can be a little bit more organized. You have some tasks that cannot be completed until later on, so it stays up there. And so it kind of divides and kind of throws you off from the tasks that need to be done that particular day. And I think that that could become a little bit overwhelming.
Okay. What is your current routine for using tasks? How often do you refer to it?
My current routine for using Task Manager is pretty much first thing I do when I get in for the day, I check Task Manager. I also like to check it around 12 noon to see if there are any new tasks that have been added. And I also like to check it 30 minutes or maybe an hour prior to me leaving for the day to make sure there hasn't been a new task delegated. If so, we need to make sure that we have the proper coverage or have the proper people in the building to make sure it's done in a timely manner.
So with the current interface, how do you know whether something new has been delivered to you?
There isn't a true notification for anything new. You would just have to get on there, look at the current interface, remember what was there prior to you looking, and then you would just have to kind of figure it out yourself.
So how does that change with the new interface?
It changes with the new interface because the home page is a little bit more clearer. It gives you a lot more detail. It also lets you know when a particular task was actually added. According to the left-hand side of the new interface, it shows you when a task was delegated and sent out.
What information does it give you on the left-hand side to tell you that?
The information that it gives you pretty much the time the task was actually delegated out to the store, and I believe the duration,
The date.
the date.
And then to the right-hand side, can you speak to that there's the new icon?
All right, so the new icon that's actually listed on the new interface, it lets you know if a task is overdue. It lets you know the priority of a task.
Whether or not it's new.
Oh, and also whether or not it's new.
I led you on that one.
Yes, you did.
Do other members of management follow the same routine that you have with tasks? And if they don't, why do you think they don't?
Other managers do not follow the same routine that I have with tasks. I feel like the current task manager app that we're using could be a little overwhelming. I think that some people have difficulties with navigating through, and I think that's the major part of people shying away from using the current task manager app we're using.
Do you think that changes with the new interface? And if so, how?
I definitely think it will change. It's more so user-friendly. Your average Joe could actually use it and navigate through. It also has a how do I option located at the far right-hand margin of the new interface, and I think that would actually help guide managers and also associates through the new interface. If I were to rank the new interface with 10 being the most pleasant and 1 being the most non-pleasant, I would actually give the new interface, I would give it an 8.5.
And why?
Mm-hmm. I would give it an 8.5 because I really love the how do I option. Like I said, I think that would actually make more so managers not so scared to use it or just say I'm not going to go through all that jumbled mess. I also like the way the new interface is set up. I like the new Gantt calendar. I like the way it actually shows you the duration of tasks, when it starts, when you have the deadline to complete it. I also like many of the options of how you can kind of transition from one page to another, and it's clean. You can always go back to the other page. It's just a easier way to actually navigate through, and I think that's going to actually make a lot of people more excited to use it.
How do you see your team changing the way they use tasks, or do you think it will change the way your team uses tasks?
I see my team. Okay, I'm sorry. Can you ask me that one more time?
How do you think the new application, well, I'll ask it differently.
Okay.
How do you think the new application will help you and your team manage all the work that's assigned to your store?
I think the new interface will help us actually manage the work because it's more detailed. You can actually physically get in there and delegate an assignment. You can add messages without having to just leave a comment. You can just do a simple message. It breaks it down as to who it's going to. I'm pretty sure the current interface does that also, but the newer one, it's easier. It shows you steps on how to do it, and it's just easier to navigate.
So can you describe why it would be important for you and your management team to create your own projects and tasks?
I feel that it would be important for us to create I feel like it would be important for us to create tasks using the new interface because It's more efficient than just writing out things to do. Paper gets lost, the dry erase board, somebody walks past it, now something is erased, emails can get deleted, and all other sorts of type of mess could go on. But with the new interface, I mean, unless somebody physically goes in there and clicks delete on a particular comment or a message, it's going to stay in there. So.
So based on what we showed you, what would you say would be your favorite feature at the moment?
My favorite feature is the way you can actually utilize the calendar and how you can switch it over to the Gantt calendar. I think that's going to save us a lot of payroll as far as creating scheduling. I think it's going to save us a lot of time as far as delegating out tasks. It's a one-stop shop for organization as far as operations that need to be done on a day-to-day basis.
So what about the Gantt calendar is going to allow you to schedule better? What is it showing you?
Because it's showing you all the tasks between a duration or between a particular time period. It actually breaks down the days. It also breaks down the dates that the task began and also the dates that the task end. It also shows you the days in between the particular tasks where you don't have anything done. So if need be, you can actually spend time on those free days getting caught up on tasks that you just didn't have enough payroll or enough time to complete.
And do you think this is going to be easier to introduce new members of your team to tasks, and if so, why?
I definitely think that this new interface will be easier to introduce to new team members, management, and both associates, because it pretty much explains everything on the front page. Like I said, I'm so in love with the how do I option. It breaks it down. If you don't have somebody that is, how could I say, sufficient with using tasks, it tells you right there on the screen.